So today I'm doing the clan generator challenge using the Perchance generator, and I'll leave a link in the description to the website, of course. It's a very well made generator. This is the very first clan I got when I clicked the generator, and I actually really liked it, so I just went with this one. This is JungleClan, the affectionate and respected. And they're also a pretty small clan, which is why I was able to do all the cats that the generator spat out for me without, crying. There are only 13 cats in the clan, and hey, I've decided to make that actually a part of the clan's lore. So first I should probably explain that JungleClan does not live anywhere near the main clan territories. They literally live in a jungle, which is creative, I know. Never would have thunk it. JungleClan is kind of dying out. They're facing a problem involving a caiman that's moved into their main hunting ground, which is a swampland beneath their camp. Aside from this, no new kits have been born in a very long time, save for the 2 current apprentices in the clan. The leader of JungleClan is Yellowstar, and the generator described her as a short-haired red mackerel pseudo-tabby she-cat with hazel eyes. I only loosely followed the generator's tabby descriptions, to be very honest, so many cats in this clan are tabbies, and I just kind of gave them at least a couple stripes if the generator said tabby. That was my criteria. Yellowstar is a quiet she-cat with an oddly strong connection to the forest. She is a half-clan cat who is raised in JungleClan. Many cats in the clan are hesitant to follow her lead, especially so soon after the untimely death of their former leader. There are doubts and rumors that she does not have JungleClan's best interest at heart because of her heritage. She was made deputy by the former leader because of how much she advised him. She's excellent at planning and strategy, and objectively would be a good choice for leader, but she's not so good at reassuring the cats she's leading, or bonding with them. Sanford. JungleClan's deputy is a messy goofball of a cat named Sanford. The generator's description of Sanford is a long-haired, red classic pseudo-tabby tom with green eyes. I love drawing long-haired cats. You can have so much fun with their fur shapes and patterns. Sanford in particular is he just looks an absolute mess at all times. He's constantly trying to do at least 3 things at once, and rarely finishes any of them. He often walks around with leaves and twigs tangled in his long fur because he gets distracted before he can groom all of them out. He's a very social cat and great at reassuring his clanmates. Despite his silly nature, he's good at listening, and many cats go to him to confide their worries and problems. Yellowstar made him deputy because of their contrast. She checks up on the clan through him, and while she takes care of strategizing, he makes sure that all cats are taken care of and feel listened to. So next up is our medicine cat, Dwight Stone. Dwight Stone is a short-haired lilac mackerel tabby tom with green eyes. I took this description and kind of went ham, as you can see. I added this big old scar to his shoulder to go with his backstory, which I'll get to in just a moment. I kind of had trouble with his face, and I think it's a teeny bit off, but maybe he just has a long muzzle, or I'm telling myself that anyway. Now, I should mention one of my pet peeves of the Warriors universe, I guess. I don't like that medicine cats are constantly cats who are too weak, in quotes, or injured to be normal warriors. So Dwight Stone here is actually a warrior apprentice who chose to be a medicine cat of his own volition. As a very young apprentice, he was into really brutal battles with the neighboring clan, Leaf Clan, which is where he got the scar. He's an excellent warrior, and most cats in the clan thought that he'd be a great fighter when he grew up because of how naturally it came to him. Dwight Stone really dislikes fighting though, and he admired how the clan's former medicine cat was able to heal and help other cats instead. Dwight Stone was part of a very vague StarClan prophecy about a fierce warrior that would one day help save the clan. He actively went against their advice to choose his current path as medicine cat, so he does not have a very strong connection with StarClan, to say the least. Crowstripe. So Crowstripe is a black mackerel tabby she-cat with long fur and gold eyes. She's one of the clan's younger warriors, and generally so full of energy it can get kind of exhausting to be around for extended periods of time. Crowstripe is a bouncy she-cat with a knack for getting herself into trouble, but not out of it. She's generally mischievous and kind-hearted, but she doesn't tend to think things through enough to actually keep out of danger. She's impulsive and is surprisingly persuasive, which means that usually whenever she does get into trouble, it's not alone. The 2 scars along her back are actually from a caiman attack, in which she bowled Junipers Dream, a warrior we'll get to later on. out of the way before it could get to her. They're not from the caiman's teeth, actually. It missed her, but when it turned its head, she got flung into some jagged rocks. She's very brave, often to the point where it doesn't seem like she really thinks anything through at all before throwing herself into danger. Lionfoot. Okay, so Lionfoot's description is a hairless red mackerel pseudo-tabby tom with amber eyes. He's a big scary guy the way I drew him. He's one of the clan's strongest warriors, though realistically I feel bad for any warrior cat that's hairless, because I imagine it's much easier to get hurt without that extra layer of protection you get when you have fur, you know? Lionfoot is a grumpy tom with too much to prove. He's determined to secure his rank as a senior warrior of the clan, and is very ambitious. Despite this, he's a good mentor to his apprentice Cranepaw, and surprisingly gentle with the skittish cat. While defensive and grouchy, he's not cold-hearted. Spiderfoot. Spiderfoot is a black tom with short fur and yellow eyes. I feel like this drawing style doesn't really fit in with the rest of the clan. I think the lines are too thick, and also something else is off, but I'm not entirely sure what it is, but you know, oh well. Spiderfoot was the only kid born to Raven Pelt, and he was very tiny and scrawny from day one. He often sticks to the shadows and rarely comes out to interact with his clanmates. He spends most of his time in the Elder's Den listening to their stories, or out in the forest hunting alone. He's a very good hunter and sneaky due to his inherent ability to fit into small spaces and blend in with the shadows. Daffodil Paw is a long-haired red mackerel tabby she-cat with hazel eyes. I did add some white fur to her design because at this point I felt like I had too many tabbies, especially red tabbies. Daffodil Paw is a very serious apprentice who's determined to become a great warrior for her clan. She's headstrong and generally blunt, not often putting other cats' feelings before harsh honesty. She is Sanford's apprentice, and often finds herself frustrated at the older warrior's pointless, goofy antics. Actually, that's exactly why Yellowstar paired them together. She hoped that these two would balance each other out, and Dandelion Paw would learn to loosen up a little bit and realize that there's more to life than just endless ambition and fighting spirit. Cranepaw is a long-haired blue tom with yellow eyes. He's Daffodil Paw's brother, though he's not very similar to her. I had fun with his pose, except for the neck fur. I did struggle with the neck fur. Skittish, jumpy, and shy, Cranepaw feels he isn't ready to be an apprentice, let alone a warrior. He's often unsure of his own 2 feet, and has trouble finding confidence in himself. He's sweet, but often second-guesses and doubts himself to the point where he stumbles over both his words and his paws. He was originally terrified of his mentor Lionfoot, but the more they work together, the more Cranepaw learns that his mentor may have more of a soft side than he generally lets on to the rest of the clan. Junipers Dream is the clan's only queen. She is a long-haired blue mackerel tabby she-cat with gold eyes. She doesn't have any kids other than Daffodil Paw and Cranepaw. I tried to design her to have a similar coat pattern to the two of them, so you can at least see a little bit of where their inheritance came from. Not that I know anything about cat genetics. Junipers Dream is a gentle and quiet she-cat, who isn't very skilled at hunting due to her clumsy nature. She's a great warrior though, at least when her opponents don't know that her weakness is to throw her off balance. She doesn't technically have a mate in the clan anymore, and it's kind of unknown who the father of her kids was. The clan at this point is so small that everyone just didn't want to question it. Besides, it was probably a red tabby warrior who was unfortunately lost to the caiman, and nobody wanted to bring that up. Though that is the case, she's very close to Crowstripe, and the two of them spent a lot of time together. Starling Stripe is a long-haired black and red, classic calico tabby she-cat with gold eyes. So, as I'm typing this, I honestly did not read the tabby part until right now. I just fully managed to miss that bit. My bad on that one, actually. She's just straight up not a tabby in any sense of the word, but she does have a snaggly little fang poking out, and that has to count for something, right? Right. She's very set in her ways, and still goes hunting because it's actually impossible to tell her to stay in camp, no matter if she's the oldest and frailest elder. She's the main naysayer of Yellowstar, and one of the warriors that's the most hesitant about being led by a cat who's half-clan. Yellowstar is fully aware of this and respects the old cat's opinion, so they've come to a kind of reluctant truce between them. Raven Pelt is a long-haired black she-cat with copper eyes. Now, I did add some variation to Raven Pelt here's design. She has a white foot as well as a white ear in the finished design. Raven Pelt is a gruff and fierce she-cat, frankly very good at bossing others around and taking control. She's one of Starling Stripe's closest friends, and another cat who dislikes the idea of Yellowstar being leader. She has no hesitation about voicing her opinion on Yellowstar's decisions, but respects Sanford enough to trust their judgment in leading the clan together. She was the warrior to discover the caiman occupying their hunting grounds, and making cats quote-unquote disappear. She's very serious about taking care of this problem, whether it be through finding a way to get rid of the caiman, or trying to take more of Leaf Clan's territory to make up for the loss of hunting grounds. Hornet Pelt is a red mackerel pseudo-tabby tom, with short fur and gold eyes. Hornet Pelt was technically an elder in the generator, but this clan has too many elders and not enough warriors, so I'm probably breaking several of his challenges rules to move him to just kind of a senior warrior-ish position. He's not that old. Hornet Pelt is real quiet and tends to be shy. He's a friendly boy despite his intimidating name, and he gets along well with most cats in the clan. He's very agile and one of the best hunters in the clan, often hunting in the treetops of the jungle on branches even the most senior warriors deem too narrow. He's always wanted to mentor an apprentice and teach them his hunting techniques, but hasn't gotten a chance yet because of the lack of kits in the clan. Ramble Foot is a chocolate tom with short fur and copper eyes. He only has one eye because of the same battle that Dwight Stone was injured in. His design is pretty simple actually. I ended up just giving him some darker ears and a darker tail. He ended up retiring a little bit early to the Elder's Den because jumping around on treetop branches isn't the best idea when you aren't used to one-eye depth perception, but he doesn't mind. He's very sleepy all the time and he really likes the extra nap time he gets now that he's an elder. Besides, it gives him plenty of opportunities to share stories of his glory days with the younger cats in the clan. And that's all of JungleClan. This challenge was really fun. I actually haven't drawn or designed a cat character in quite a while, so it was fun to get back into it. I hope you enjoyed, and maybe if I continue on this role of uploading more than once a year, I'll make another video elaborating on JungleClan's story, because I honestly had a lot of fun making all the characters and whatnot, especially Dwight Stone. I have plans for him. Goodbye everyone, I hope you all are doing well. Comment below if you have ideas for other challenges you'd like to see me do.